Why is art the worst talent to have? My little sister Chrissy sobbed into my shoulder that September afternoon. I try to talk, but nothing comes out right. Everyone thinks I'm weird. I hugged her tighter. You just need a different way to express yourself. I went into my room and handed her a small painting kit. Paint what you can't say, I told her. Chrissy's hands shook, mixing her first colors, but by the end of the week, she managed to paint a beautiful emotional piece. I submitted her paintings to a local exhibit. When we managed to sell 3 pieces, Chrissy hugged me with tears streaming down her face. After the exhibit, Chrissy continued painting 4 to 5 hours daily after school. Her bedroom walls disappeared behind portraits and landscapes. Mom would bring sandwiches to her room, ruffling her hair and calling her my little Frida Kahlo. Everything seemed perfect until I found her pricking her finger with a needle, squeezing blood into her palette. Ran out of crimson. Needed to finish this sunset, she explained casually. Chrissy, that's unsanitary, I started. She stuck her tongue out at me playfully. Van Gogh cut off his ear, right? True artists suffer. We laughed it off together, and I convinced myself it was just dedication. When she won the regional youth competition, the judge mentioned her disturbing but powerful use of color, but we were too proud to worry. Our parents framed the award in the living room. I left for art school that fall, telling her to keep painting. I returned for spring break expecting a happy reunion, but found deeply disturbing patterns instead. My parents met me at the door, exhausted and hollow-eyed. She whispers to the paintings like they're alive, Mom said. I thought they were exaggerating until I passed Chrissy's room that night. Through the cracked door, I watched her stroking a canvas, murmuring softly, "Yes, I understand. I'll fix them soon." The next morning, I asked Chrissy why she spoke to her artwork. She looked at me like I was stupid. The shadows in the paintings tell me about composition and color theory. Don't you listen to yours? I thought about it for a moment before chalking it up to passion, thinking she maybe knew something I didn't. She boarded up all the windows at home, claiming natural light lied about true colors. But the moment that really worried me was when our parents tried removing canvases to clean her room. Chrissy took her furniture and slept in her makeshift studio for a week, clutching her palette knife like a teddy bear. We attempted to take her to an art therapist appointment, but it worsened our relationship with her. I'm finally expressive and now you're unhappy? The canvas was right. You guys don't support me, she argued. The next morning, I left early to buy expensive oil paints as a peace offering, hoping we could paint together like old times. I returned in the evening to find the house eerily quiet, with only traces of what I thought was red paint splattered on the walls. I dropped the bags of paint on the floor and walked around, only to find Chrissy painting in our parents' bedroom instead of her garage studio. "Why are you in here?" I asked. She glanced at me quickly, swirling the paintbrush around. "My studio's under renovation," I asked in a confused tone. "Okay, well, where's Mom and Dad?" I watched a subtle frown form on her lips. They don't understand permanence in art. I asked what she meant by permanence, and she stopped painting to finally look at me with vacant eyes. "I made them eternal. Go look if you want. They're my masterpieces now." I crept to the garage and nearly turned back around from the smell of resin and decay. I pushed in and dropped down screaming. Our parents' bodies were preserved in clear resin, positioned like living sculptures in the corner. Neat labels read, "Living Still Life Number 1, Mother," and "Living Still Life Number 2, Father." I vomited, stumbling backward into shelves of paint supplies. Chrissy appeared in the doorway with her palette knife. See how the resin captured their expressions? They wanted to send me away, separate us, destroy our dream. I shook my head, looking for another exit. Her voice rose to a shriek. "You said we'd create something eternal together. This is eternal." I ran just as she lunged at me. She chased me with a knife, following me back up to our parents' room. "You're abandoning me too." I grabbed the nearest canvas as a shield. Chrissy's knife tore through her own masterpiece, the blade recoiling and piercing her painting hand. "No!" She dropped down, cradling her mangled hand against the ruined canvas, blood mixed with oils. I backed away slowly and locked her in the room while I called 911. When the officers arrived and arrested her, Chrissy whispered through her tears, looking at me with desperate eyes, "I made them eternal. We did it, right?" Chrissy was institutionalized after that night. The permanent nerve damage means she can't hold brushes properly anymore. She can only make crude marks with her non-dominant hand, but she still sends me sketches weekly of our future gallery. They're shaky, childlike drawings that break my heart. A month later, I burned the canvas she had last created that had been stained with the blood she bled that night.